This is going to be huge. The biggest rivalry in World Rugby, and we've got it for 2 weeks back to back. Can't wait for it. This is my predicted All Blacks team to play the Boks. Can they go over there to South Africa and beat the Springboks? Beat the best team in World Rugby? Can they do it? Let me know what you guys think. Oh man, I can't wait for it. Before we get into it, hit the subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this team, about the games coming up. As you can see, I'm still out of office, still on holiday, but we're still getting the videos out. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of my team. Do I know anything about rugby here? What do you guys think? Let's get into it. Alright, my All Blacks predicted starting 15 to take on the Springboks in South Africa. Let's go. Up front, we got Tamaiti Williams, Cody Taylor, Tyrell Lomax. Then Scott Barrett, captain, and Sam Darry in the locks. Back row of Ethan Blackadder, Dalton Papali'i, and Ardie Savia. TJ Perenara and Damien McKenzie, 9 and 10. As centres of Geordie Barrett, Rico Ioane, and back three of Caleb Clark, Will Jordan, and Bolden Barrett. Bench or impact, we got Asamoah, Ofa Tonga Fasi, Ethan de Groot, Tupu Vai, Sam Kane, Cortez Ratima, Anton Leonard Brown, and Mark Talia. Again, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do I know anything about rugby? Is this team good enough to go over to South Africa and beat the Springboks? Let me know in the comments. Let's get into it. So front row, Tamaiti Williams, Tyrell Lomax, and Cody Taylor. I think Williams played his way into the starting side. I'm not too sure what happened with Ethan de Groot. It was a little niggle or injury. He is included in the squad, so he is still there. So I'm guessing he's 100% ready. So he might even start with Williams on the bench, but I've gone with Williams. He was fantastic versus Argentina in their last game. Really held the scrum down well and leveled up along with Lomax. They will have to level up with Lomax and Cody Taylor to take on the Springbok scrum, because we know that Springbok scrum is tough, man. They love a scrum. All Blacks front row going to have to man up with that. Cody Taylor picks himself, his line out. He's ball carrying down the channels, down the 15-meter lines, really, really good. And obviously his leadership there. And that'll be huge. That battle up front, they didn't have a scrum in the first test versus Argentina until the 60th minute mark. I reckon by the 60th minute mark versus South Africa, there'll be like 60 scrums. So I feel like the Springboks start knocking the ball on purpose to get scrums. My locks, Scott Barrett and Sam Darry. So Scott Barrett returning from injury. I think it was a finger injury. He'll go straight into the starting lineup, I reckon. So he'll come back, and it obviously adds a lot more depth to that lock position. It also brings a strong ball carrier for the All Blacks in that regard. With physicality, carrying that ball up. Scott Barrett's really good in that regard. He gets around the park as well. Obviously good in the line-out. And then his leadership role as a captain, very, very important. Darry, I thought, has been immense in Barrett's absence the past few weekends. Really stepped up. Has been great. Good lineouts, obviously. Then great physicality. Strong with ball in hand. Gets around the park and gets through a ton of work as well. I feel like he'll be a lock for the All Blacks for a long time to come. So them two together, really good. I think Barrett's absence has been good for Darry. And he's just had to step up, and he's really done that. My back row, Ethan Blackadder, Dalton Papali'i, and Ardie Savia, workhorses, physicality will be much needed for this game. And these guys bring it. Blackadder will need to keep up his 20 tackle games. He's going to have to tackle this weekend versus the Springboks. He's just going to have to tackle. I think Papali'i will have to front up physically. I could even see Sam Kane maybe starting here, but maybe get Papali'i gets his last opportunity to start, and he'll have to he'll have to level up that physicality, more hitting rucks, more tackles, more carrying of the ball, and more dominant in all three of those facets of the game. And then Sevilla just do what Sevilla does, man. Strong ball carries, lead the charge physically for the All Blacks, but bring that team along with him. His tackles, his ruck hitting, really not back down from the physical nature of the Springboks, and he won't. I don't think he ever does. He just, whether or not he can bring his forward pack with him will be the big question there. So my 9 and 10, TJ Perenara and Damien McKenzie, crucial. So important for how they want to play the game. Option taking, driving the game, kick options, when to kick, when not to kick, where to play on the field. And then going out there and actually executing on how they want to play. Yes, this will depend massively on if the forwards can go forward, because if your forward pack's going backwards, it's really hard as a 9 and 10 to do anything with the ball. So this will depend on the forwards, whether they're going forward or not. And if they are, this will make TJ Perenara and Damien McKenzie's game a lot easier. They're my 9 and 10 for the first game versus Springboks. So centres, Jordie Barrett, Rico Ioane, both played really well versus Los Pumas in the last game. Jordie Barrett was exceptional. I think all his options he has when carrying the ball, he can run over the top of you. You've got that little offload before contact, after contact, the little chip kick over, and then he's kicking out of hand, like penalties, kicking to touch. It goes underrated for the All Blacks. Rico Ioane, he come under some scrutiny, and rightly so. His form hasn't been the best, but lifted his game last week and just needs to build on that. So that little bit of confidence he took from that game, and I think he can take into this next game, and really jump on top of that. The guys inside him need to let him loose a bit. I feel like he's Rico Ioane is like a Ferrari that's just left in the shed. Open that shed, boy. Turn that Ferrari on. Let's go. Give him the ball. My back three. So we got Caleb Clark, Will Jordan, and Beauden Barrett. All three played exceptionally well versus Los Pumas last weekend. Clark, I think, will definitely get the start mainly because of the bigger body, the bigger frame. They'll come against smaller opposition. That's never really stopped the Springboks wingers. They're usually the smaller player versus any team, but I think they'll use Clark first phase, coming around that corner, running down that 10 channel. Such a big body. If you've got, let's say off the back of a line out, you've got Cody Taylor coming around. He gets the ball off the top. He's coming around flat. You've got Caleb Clark on his inside maybe, or right short next to him. And then you've got Jordie Barrett running a hard line. Rico Ioane running a hard line. Damien McKenzie out the back. See that happening, and that'll cause a lot of headaches for the South African defense. For Will Jordan, just a game breaker, man. X factor with ball in hand. Gives you that extra eyes on attack when he's roaming behind Damien McKenzie or behind the ruck or behind the centres. It's really dangerous for the opposition. You never know what he's going to do. You never know what he's telling his inside players with the ball, like the little chip kick or bounce out, play me wide, or come under. Like, his reading of a game on attack is next level. He's got 33 tries in 33 games for the All Blacks. You want him he needs to be on the field. And that link up between Beauden Barrett and Will Jordan is also a scary thought. And Barrett at fullback, he's still all class, man. Injects himself into the back line exactly when you need him there. Very smart player, comes up with those big plays ever since he burst onto the scene. He's just always bringing that. When you need someone to create something or to do something crazy for a team, to change momentum, to swing the momentum, to win a game, Beauden Barrett's your man. You want him on the field. Gone with a 5-3 split on the bench. Could they change it to a 6-2 split to combat the Springboks bench? Because Springboks are going for a 6-2 or even a 7-1 split. That could definitely see that happen or happening. Any injuries, and I haven't gone with an out-and-out fly-off on the bench. I've got Ratima and Anton Leonard-Brown and Mark Talia. Because if Damien McKenzie goes down, you can see Beauden Barrett going into there into fly off, then Will Jordan going to fullback, and Mark Talia going onto the wing. Any centres go down, Anton Leonard Brown goes in, and then Cortez Ratima obviously covers 9. Oh man, excited for this. I can't wait. Springboks versus All Blacks in South Africa. Oh, let me know what you think about this team. Do I know anything about rugby? Let me know in the comments. What changes would you make? Let's go, baby. Hit that subscribe, and I'll see you next time.